chieno. Wachaka ni weche masani ni nyaka sani ji 15 oseda dhogi ne lemo mag tend migepe mopogore opogore. Komiti mar od bura ma opiedho jogo manyocha jatend Kenya William Ruto owalo ne odonje odiochieng' mar 3 kawuono. Komiti no rango matut weche manyalo reso midhiero e bad migepe mopogore opogore kaka mag wuoth, alwora kod limbe. Kata seche mwuoyeni pontiere komiti no pod dhi mbele gi dadho jogo mogwel mondo donje migepe. Wadhi ane achiel kachiel nyaka od bura mondo winjane ni tang'o matimore sani.
Involved in drugs especially, and therefore leading to stress issues and many mental disorders. So what am I going to do about this? While preparing myself, I got to learn that only 14 out of the 47 counties have facilities that have mental health departments. And therefore, I would be seeking, first of all, is an integration of mental health in primary health care. That the community health workers that was talked about earlier, then when they go to a family in terms of looking at their health, one issue would be screening for mental health. That then we are able to know who are these who have mental health issues. While they screen for them, then they move them through the levels of healthcare, level 1 to level 6 if need be. But most importantly is integration. Because you know, mental health is like almost the basis of everything. Even for one to be socially fit, you have to be mentally fit. For one to engage in economic activities, members and through the chair, you have to be mentally fit. So I'll be seeking that. But again, of important is that mental health has been neglected, and it's because of the stigma and this discrimination that is around mental health. Actually, in this country, if a patient is referred to Mathare Hospital, you know, many people will be running away from that patient saying, "Uyo ni mwenda wazimu." Yeah, so the first thing that we are going to do is even to rebrand Mathare Hospital, so that then people don't start seeing you as a mwenda wazimu once you are referred to Mathare. Maybe we'll give it a better name. Yeah, so that then that is not there. Honorable Mishi, you are worried about counterfeit drugs. While working at Mission for Essential Drugs, before listing a drug, it had to go under rigorous lab testing. And I believe the laboratory at Mission for Essential Drugs is the biggest in terms of quality control checking on pharmaceuticals. Not even the National Quality Control Laboratory is to that extent. So I am aware that we have institutions in this country, that is the NQCL, and through partnerships, public-private partnerships, then some drugs can be checked. Not even some, actually all of them, at the point that they are being enlisted on the Kenya Essential Drug List. They should be checked and determine that the molecule are good enough for human beings. And also the Pharmacy and Poisons Board has to step up in terms of what they do in registration of drugs, the rigorous exercise they undertake, the good manufacturing practices that they check before drugs are allowed to be registered. Thank you. And Honorable Dawood, thank you very much. You said you have brought to the House a cancer bill and a health amendment bill, and your concern was the public health in terms of those two issues. So public health is under the Schedule 4. Of course, in terms of policy, then it remains at the national level. But in terms of implementation, then it is at the county levels. And as I had said earlier, this calls for collaborations. And Chair, in this country, we are not short of regulations, but we are short of implementing the regulations and the good things that have been put in books. So I am seeking that if this committee approves me and eventually I get to be the CS, is that we shall not now spend a lot of time in developing policies and documents, but we look back and now implement that has already been developed. Honorable Kosing, your concern was regarding staff, and you spoke of ghost workers, that the new governments have, the new governance, most of them are regarding the existing professional workers in the hospitals as ghost workers. I do not have a direct answer to that, because when a new administrator arrives, they have their style of doing things. But mine is just to say that everything that is done, it should be within the law, and regulations must be followed. That then they are not just arbitrary, saying people are ghost workers, but instead they are checking whether they are properly recruited and if they merit for their positions. You spoke about traveling.
Chair, I think the nominee, what I was looking at is not for you to administer the governance, is what do at the national level. You need to do something at the national level that will be able to manage even the staff. As you said earlier, in Trans Nzoia, if you have overstaffed or overstaffing Trans Nzoia, that those technical staff can even go and help with Pokot. It's about the same thing, so that those the health workers are not controlled by governors. Because if a new governor comes in, very sure he's going to send the old ones which were employed by the former governor, because they think that they're politicians, right? So they politicize the health sector. I want you to come with a knowledge, a radical knowledge of depoliticizing the health at the county level from the national, so that at least we have these people permanent, or so that they can serve the people, not be changed at will of a governor. That's what I meant.
Chair, my question was not answered.
To my understanding, the CS Health has no jurisdiction over employees of the county governments. The only thing that is been debated over and over is whether we have a health workers commission that will then bring on board health workers from both levels of government, the way we have teachers, and then manage it. But that is now within your purview as legislators.
Chair, my question regarding, would you consider as the CS, if you are nominated, taking over some of the level 5 and level 6 hospitals where the...
Who has given you the authority to ask another question? Yes.